Good morning, everyone. Today in this class, we will study about micro accelerometer, and this is one of the application of micro actuators. And micro accelerometers are commonly used in automobile industry and also in consumer electronics area. And as we all know, in the automobile industry, this micro accelerometer are commonly used in case of airbag deployment actuator, and also to detect or or to function properly of the anti-braking system. We call it as ABS. Okay, so micro accelerometer, sometimes also known as inertia sensor, it is due to the case that the acceleration is actually correlated with the inertial force. Okay, so when we learn about the structure of micro accelerometer, we will have a detailed study on how this said to be as inertial micro accelerometer, etc. Okay, so the acceleration or the unit to which the acceleration is measured is specified with a value set to be as plus or minus 2g or plus or minus 50g, etc. Okay, and this g stands for a value which is actually called as gravitational acceleration, which is getting a value of either 32 feet per second square or 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so that depends upon how long we are making use of this acceleration. Okay, so the one of the major point at which we can define about an accelerometer or the working of an accelerometer is that it is actually the inertial force. We are having a proof mass placed in the structure will be studied in detail later. So what accelerometer, how the accelerometer works is actually when we place the accelerometer in a moving object. We are not saying that these accelerometers are placed when the body starts moving. Okay, so we cannot say in that way. Actually, the accelerometers are present inside the system. Okay, and when the body or the object moves, it will make some arrangement inside the accelerometer that will have a movement opposite to the direction of the uh, applied movement. Okay, so by measuring the force present inside the accelerometer, we are able to detect the acceleration for the given moving object. Okay, and the sensing part, this sensing part is actually connected to a transducting element, and this transducting element will convert the required sensing parameters into either electrical quantity or capacitive, etc. Okay, so the transducting element connected to the accelerometer can be either piezoelectric, piezoresistive, capacitive, or any other means. Okay, so now we will in the next slide we will learn about a basic structure of a micro accelerometer. We cannot say it as the accelerometer which are used nowadays. Okay, so working principle can be explained in detail with the help of that diagram. Okay, so with the help of this diagram we can learn how the accelerometer actually works. Okay, so it contains a mass. We call this mass as proof mass, and this mass is suspended in the direction of horizontal direction with the help of a spring which is having a constant k. We call this k as spring constant. Okay, and this spring have the property of elasticity, which means that when the body is or the subject to which this accelerometer is attached will occur any kind of movement either in a positive or negative direction, it will make a deformation in the structure of this spring. And when this object is suddenly cut, when the object is suddenly stopped, this spring will automatically return back to its original state. Okay, so that is why we consider about the spring constant for measuring the acceleration. Okay, so as we all know that before having any kind of movement, the mass is subjected with a reference position at this point. Okay, So consider this point as a reference position here. And when the acceleration of the object, if the object is moving in this direction, the mass will have a moment and it will shift its position to just opposite to the applied acceleration. So the mass will be moving in this direction. Okay, so we have a change in distance from this reference point to some distance in some distance after acceleration. Okay, so we measure this distance as x. Okay, so if we have a product of the spring constant and x, we will be able to measure the force at which the mass is having a moment. Okay, as we all know that by Newton's law of force, we define force as mass into acceleration. Okay, so if the proof mass of the given object present inside the accelerometer is known, and this force is actually somewhat similar to that of the force obtained with the help of the spring constant and x. The only unknown value inside this equation is the acceleration, and we can measure the acceleration by taking the ratio of induced force to the mass of the object. Okay, so this is how we are calculating the acceleration, which is correlated to the inertial force or induced force. Okay, and while studying the structure of the accelerometer, basic accelerometer, it will have a proof mass and it is suspended to one end of the casing with the help of a spring, which is having a spring constant k, and the spring, proof mass and the case etc. are connected to a device said to be as dashport. Okay, so dashport is actually used to provide the necessary damping effect. Okay, so damping effect is actually one thing that this metal casing, the proof mass, spring and the dashport have to be placed inside the metal casing. Okay, and this metal casing is connected to the object at which the acceleration will occur. Okay, and if we are not able to provide the necessary damping between the space available inside the metal casing and that of the proof mass, then there will be a slight movement of the proof mass along with the direction of motion. Okay, so this can be avoided by the proper treatment of damping. So here sometimes we make use of some viscous liquid for avoiding any kind of mechanical vibration other than acceleration. So here there are sometimes we make use of vacuum or air filled or gaseous filled for improving the damping mechanism. Okay, so that is one case of the working principle of microaccelerometer. So here we have a major drawback that the proof mass, spring, dashboard, metal casing etc. should be having a range of micrometer. Okay, so this is very difficult to hold all these property inside a small microchip. Okay, so nowadays we are moving into the advanced version of microaccelerometer, which is having a structure like this. Okay, so instead of spring we are having a thin layer of silicon cantilever beam to which we are attaching a proof mass. Okay, and above the cantilever beam we are attaching the transducting element. Here we are making use of a piezoresistor. Okay, so the cantilever beam is connected to a constraint base, and the wall component present inside this microaccelerometer is protected with the help of a metal casing or a plastic casing. Okay, and the balance space between other than the cantilever mass, then piezoresistor, etc., is filled with air that will give the necessary damping effect to the object. Okay, so when we have an acceleration, because of this mass, there will be a deformation in the structure of this silicon cantilever beam, and this deformation is detected by the piezoresistor, and it will take the reading outside for measuring the acceleration. Okay, so this is how the latest method of accelerometer, micro accelerometer work. Okay, so the next is actually a part said to be as inertia based accelerometer, which is the latest advanced technology utilized for designing such MEMS application, and this is one of the accelerometer used in automobile industry for airbag deployment actuator. Okay, so here we have two separate springs. In last case we don't have any kind of springs, instead of that we are using a silicon cantilever, but in case of inertia based accelerometer we have two springs. Okay, so consider this as a spring, have the structure similar to that of a string. Instead of that we have a tethering shape given to the spring. Okay, and to this with the help of this metal knob we are connecting the proof mass to the both springs. Okay, and at the one end of the mask we are keeping a part that is used for transducting the necessary signal. Okay, so it consists of two separate metal plates, which is having two separate metal plates, and these metal plates are fixed in nature, and we have one metal plate attached to the beam, or we have one metal plate attached to the proof mass, and this electrode or this metal plate is actually a movable metal plate or metal electrode. So when we have an acceleration in this direction, the proof mass will start to extend in this direction. Okay, so this will have a elongation of the spring at end A, and it will have a compression in spring at end B. Okay, so same will be considered in the case of the transducting part. Here when we have a stretching from A to B, then there will be a difference in or there will be an increase in distance between these two metal plates, and this will cause reduction in capacitance between these two metal plates. Okay, as we know that output voltage is somewhat related to A by D. Okay, so if D is increasing, it will cause capacitance to get reduced. Okay, so here we will have a reduction in distance, so it means that we have a increase in capacitance. Okay, so by measuring the difference between these two capacitance value, we are able to detect a change or a detection of acceleration by the movement. Okay, so here we have a drawback that we can detect only either in x direction. We can detect either in x direction. Okay, so this can be avoided with the help of a new method, that is it can detect in y direction also. This is actually the diagram that can be used to detect acceleration in y, and this is used to measure the acceleration in x direction. Okay, so only difference is that the structure is almost similar, but the position of the metal electrodes are placed in the direction parallel to y. Okay, but in x it will be parallel to horizontal direction. Okay, so vertical deflections are detected and the capacitance change is measured. In case of x, we are measuring horizontal deflection. Okay, So that is all about today's class.